is portrayed as somebody who was either asleep at the wheel or entirely too hard on his employees. Rich Paul is considered an agent that's flexing too much muscle, and the Lakers, as a result, are entirely and completely dysfunctional. Tell me, what is it that I'm learning? I mean, it's something that you guys have been talking about for months. It's something that I've been talking about for months. It's something that Magic Johnson came on First Take last Monday and absolutely, positively reconfirmed. So to me, you know, when everybody's talking about blockbuster, I'm like, excuse me, I've been talking about this for months on radio. You guys have been talking about it on television. I've been talking about it on television. I mean, the details itself, exceptional reporting about Baxter Holmes, make no mistake about it. Certainly not trying to downplay that. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it's the same stuff that we've been hearing about the Los Angeles Lakers in terms of what we peel from it once we peel off the veneer of it all. That's really what it comes down to.
Absolutely, Stephen A. And being around the league and playing in the league and covering it for as long as you have, dysfunctional franchises that don't meet their goals, all of these things that we're reading about actually happen behind the scenes. Do you feel like Magic's appearance on First Take helped or hurt the Lakers as it relates to recruiting big-time free agents this offseason?
I think there's a potential there to hurt because of what he said about Rob Pelinka. Because ultimately, when you think about Rob Pelinka, your former teammate with the Fab Five, listen, Rob Pelinka, again, I respect him. I respect him as an agent. I respect the job that he has done. There is no question about that. But when you hear residue from the whole Carlos Boozer fiasco, when he took Carlos Boozer from Cleveland and took him to Utah after a handshake agreement, when ultimately he gets let go by Arn Tellem but takes Kobe with him, you see, just remnant, just indications that, you're making very, very powerful enemies along the way. Then you take that into account and you hear about his stewardship over the Lakers as a general manager, where, a guy like Larry Nance comes up to him and, gets him to, says to him, am I being traded? I'm trying to get a house with my wife and all of this other stuff. And Rob Pelinka tells him, no, you don't have to worry about that. And then a few days later, ultimately trades him and stuff like that. When you have things like that being said, that certainly doesn't help because Magic Johnson is gone. Rob Pelinka is there. Clearly his cachet has been elevated. Then you've got the Linda Rambis thing. We don't have any record of her being associated with basketball per se, like she's in a position to be making basketball decisions, but she seems to have the ear of Jeannie Buss just as poignant as anybody else. Kurt Rambis obviously knows a thing or two about basketball, was a coach, was an assistant coach in there, but when he coached for 2 years in Minnesota, he was 100 games under 500, 32 and 132 to be exact. So nobody's going to really care what he has to say about basketball when that's your record. Fair or unfair, that's just the reality. Phil Jackson, we know he's an 11-time champion as a coach, but as executive of the New York Knicks, I'm being kind this morning. Don't let me get started on Phil, but that seems to be somebody else that's in Jeannie's ear. So when you look at it from those perspectives, it just appears to be an absolute mess. But again, I asked the question, tell me what the hell is new compared to last week, compared to last month, compared to 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Ain't a damn thing different. Not a damn thing. It's all the same. We've been saying the same things about the Los Angeles Lakers. The only thing new I heard about the Los Angeles Lakers this morning is when Jay Williams went on national television and said he got advice not to mess with the Kardashian. And oh, by the way, that ain't new.
How about this, Stephen A? And let me tell you what else isn't new. The Lakers not making the playoffs. Because before Magic and Rob got into those positions, and Jeannie for that matter, they were still a lottery team. So based on the infrastructure of Jeannie hiring Rob before she hired Magic, and then all of a sudden those two gentlemen were accounted to work together,
right?
What type of job do you feel like they did together, and what do you foresee happening moving forward?
I think everybody's done a horrendous job considering how dysfunctionality has raked through the franchise like a virus. Everybody's culpable. Nobody concede that. But let's not act like LeBron James, if he had not gone down with that injury, that groin injury that knocked him out for 17 consecutive games and ultimately a couple of additional games that they would not have made the postseason. And then you're talking about LeBron in the postseason with his experience, his cachet, the benefit of the officials' calls and things of that nature. You never know how it could have gone. So Magic Johnson's looking at it that way. Rob Pelinka's looking at it that way. They know that there's some things they could have done differently. More shooters as opposed to playmakers, etc. Of course, not letting go of Brooks Lopez. Magic Johnson conceded that on First Take. They recognize